Let me welcome African Motives again. So we are still on EMS Grade 8, EMS Grade 8, Economic and Management Science Grade 8, Term 3 notes. So remember that in our last or in our previous presentation, we were on partnership. So this one we are on close cooperation, CC. So remember the chapter that you are still on, it is entrepreneurship. So it's all about forms of business ownership. So like we did sole trader, we did partnership. Now we are on close cooperation. That is our lesson 3. So that is that. So this is what I am saying I'm saying we are on close cooperation. So what is important there, like any other forms of business ownership that we have talked about, the formation is very important. A close corporation, it consists of 1 to 10 members. So these are the members that can what can make up a close corporation. So we now know that people who forms a close corporation, CC, they are called members. Remember partnership, they are called partners. So that is very important. So as you can look at this picture, you can see now these are people who are forming what a close corporation. You can see these are the people who are forming close corporation. So but you can see that these people do not exceed 10 members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see they are 10, like they've said. The formation of this corporation is 10 members. Like they are saying, is a job creation. You can see that the other one would be executive, the other one communication manager, the other one enterprise manager, operational manager, strategic as well as vision manager. So that is that, good people. So now let us go to the characteristics of a close corporation. Characteristics of close corporation. As it says, it consists of 1 to 10 members, like we have already said that a close corporation can have a minimum of 1, can have what? Minimum of 1 person and maximum of 10 members. So 10 is what? Maximum. Maximum of 10 members who own the business? Who own the business? Who own the business? So that is that. So, for example, a close corporation can be owned by 4 members. It's still fine. Who share the ownership? That is that. So it says also the name must end with a CC. The name of close corporation must end with CC. So the business name must include the letter CC to show that it is a close corporation. That is to show that it is a close corporation. Close corporation. So any name that you can come up with, make sure that it's going to end with CC. That is what it means. If you want to name your business Sunrise, make sure that it's a Sunrise CC to show that it is a close corporation. Also, do have legal person. Do have legal person. Here's a legal person, legal entity. So the CC is separate from its members. This shows once we are saying do have a legal person, it shows that CC uh, is separate. It's separate. It's separate from its members. From its members. Is separate from its members. Is separate from its members in the eyes of the law. In the eyes, in the eyes of what? In the eyes of the law. In the eyes of the law. That's what it means. So it can own property, it can enter contracts, it can sue, and also it can be sued. That's what we are saying. Also, business have limited liability. Business have limited liability. So it means members are generally liable for the amount they've invested in the business. So it simply says members It seems that members are liable. Members are liable for the amount they've invested or the amount they invested in the business. They invested in the business. So that is that. So their personal assets are protected from business debts. So if, for example, if the closed corporation owes money, creditors usually cannot claim a member's personal car or a house. No, they don't have that right. Business have the continuity. Business have continuity. Business have continuity. So it means the CC can continue operating even if a member leaves or retires. So that is that. So the CC can continue operating, can continue operating, even if the other member is retired or is gonna leave, but the close corporation is gonna still continue. Unlike in partnership and in sole trader, if one member leaves or dies, they are starting from the scratch or totally they are closed. So that's that. Profits are shared according to percentage. Profits are shared according to percentage. That is that. So it simply says members share profits based on ownership percentage agreed upon. So a member of 60% interest received 60% profits. So that is the agreement that they made. Also, it says business needs a founding statement for formation. So it means a founding statement is a legal document that contains important details about CC, its members, and is required to register the business. So let us move on to advantages and disadvantages. Advantages and disadvantages of a closed corporation. It says it is easy to form. Easy to form. SEC is relatively simple to establish because fewer legal requirements are involved compared to company. As compared to company, it is easy to form because three friends register CC by completing just a funding statement. If they can complete the funding statement, they can now continue. So hope we are together. So we are together on that. We know when you talk of a funding statement, we're talking about a legal document that contains important details about CC, its members required to register their business. Once they complete that document, that form, they're fine. That is why we say it's easy to form. Again, another advantage is that the members have limited liability. So it means members are generally only responsible for the amount invested. We've talked about that and under the characteristics. So they are only responsible for the amount invested. So their personal assets are protected from business ties. So that is that. If the CC owes money, creditors usually cannot take them as personal house. That's what you've said. That is an advantage. Also can raise more capital than sole trader. Yeah, as compared to sole trader, because sole trader is one person. So CC, we have said 1 to 10. So several members can contribute funds, making it easier to obtain capital than for sole trader. So we'll find that 4 members invest 25,000, giving the CC 100,000 in capital. So you see. So if a member dies, the business will continue. Remember, under characteristics, we've said it has what? Continuity. So it means CC has continuity, can keep operating even if when a member dies or leaves. So that is that. The financials of the business, the financial of the business don't need to be audited. So there is no audition that is going to take place. So the financial statements do not need to be audited. So you'll find that in many cases, a closed corporation is not required to have its financial statement audited, which reduces what? Cost. So a CC saves money by not paying audit fees every year. That is that. Now coming to the drawbacks, I'm talking about the disadvantage now. As he said, profits need to be shared between all members. So it means the profits belongs to all members and must be divided according to their ownership percentage. So as compared to sole trader, remember, profits belongs to the owner alone as it is formed by one person. So here they are to share. That is why we say it's a disadvantage. There are legal formalities. So certain legal documents and procedures are required to register and operate a closed corporation. Remember that members must complete and submit funding statement. That is one of the requirement that is needed. Tax rates are higher than sole traders and partnership. So a CC may not pay higher taxes than some other forms of business ownership. So you find a sole trader may pay less than CC with the same profit. So that is that. Thank you very much for your time. This is the end of this presentation. Thank you.